to hope to help you a little bit out on that. Just to give you a brief idea. You know, when I was flying, I mean, you know, it's a very long way to get here, so we have a lot of time in the airplane. And so I was reading a lot, and then there was the International Herald Tribune, and there was the advertisement for the IUCN Congress, and I saw that the Director General was saying that the most important thing I would like to see the Congress to achieve this year is to send a crystal clear message to the rest of the world that nature can and does provide solutions to some of the world's biggest environmental and developmental challenges. Therefore, you can invest in nature, and you have to start now. So it's really about investing in nature. And I know that some of the NGOs and so on think, I know it's a bad thing. We don't want to make money, and it's not, okay, it's also not the meaning of an NGO to make money, to make profit, but it's not bad to invest in nature. And because that's why we're also doing this workshop, it's a good thing for both sides. And tourism needs nature. Without nature, I mean, many tourism products will not be useful. So that's why I'm also here. Okay, let me start with my presentation. This works. Okay. It won't take too long. Okay, just let me tell you first about Asian Trails. That's a company where I'm working for. And then I try to summarize a little bit, very generic, what makes a good product. And then we make case studies, because I'm working in Laos. For those of you who don't know, Laos is a tiny country between Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, and China. But it has a lot of ecotourism potential. And it's just to give you some examples, some ideas which might be possible. And then, you know, target group. Who should I target for? You can have the greatest ideas in the world, but if you don't know your clients, and if you don't know how to get your clients, your customers, you can forget it. It will not work. That's the most important thing. I mean, you really always have to think about, how do I get the customers? How do I get the money? Okay, just very briefly, everywhere where you can see the elephant, that's the logo of Asian Trails. Asian Trails is a part of the Kony Group. We at DMC, we're a destination management company, and we are based all over Southeast Asia. You can see all our offices there. Like 25 offices in 8 countries. And the destination management company, what it does is basically, we handle all the ground services for clients. Many times also tour operators, big tour operators. You know, if you go to a travel shop and you book a tour, let's say to Korea, most likely the tour operator did not book everything. They did not book everything themselves in Korea. There's someone on the ground who does it for them, and that's what we do. Like we also create the products, we sell the products, we make the guide, we get guides, hotels, accommodation, and so on and so on. So, just to give you an example of all the products and services we're doing. You don't have to write down it. You can have later the PowerPoint presentations on the USB sticker. So you don't need to write down anything. So you see it's very big variety, you know, from Harley-Davidson motorcycle tours to private jets. Or you can have a simple car rental, or you can have a homestay, golfing, everything what you like. And ecotourism is definitely a part of it. This one, I just would like to highlight you to show you, this is one product we make a lot of marketing for. It's called Asian Trails Explorer, and it's like out of the ordinary tours for everyone. And this is a very good, just to give you an idea, it's a very good product which could fit into some of the ideas you have. Because people are looking more and more for tours which are not just the classic standard program everyone is doing. Many people they like to have something special, or they want, for example, they want to go to a different area, they want to discover the wildlife, or they want to stay in the local village, experience the local life, and so on. They don't want just to stay in a big hotel, for example, and that's why we have this Asian Trails Explore products. So you can see already that there's a market for this. Okay, so that was it for Asian Trails. Now let me come to your product. So what is your product offering? But what value, benefits and attribute does your product offer to the customer? You have to know where's the value. Is there any value, is there any added value for the customer to come to your place or to buy your product? If you don't know that, you can forget it. You don't even need to start. So there has to be an added value. But like I heard already when you were talking about your sites, I could see already that there was definitely some value in the products you want to sell. So that's important. Like the biodiversity, like to see some animals which you can only see in Madagascar, right? For example, and you cannot see anywhere else. Okay, there's already an added value. There's already also, let's come to the next point, a unique selling point. What makes your site or what makes your product unique? I mean, okay, it's not easy to be really unique. I mean, there's always, like, for example, okay, you were talking in Turkey, you have the karst landscape, but you also have karst landscape somewhere else. Okay, that's fine. You cannot, like, you cannot invent the wheel. We're not talking about this. But there has to be uniqueness. There has to be something special about this place. I will give you some examples later. Some examples which differentiate it from the others. And which offers an added value. A value for the customer. Sometimes also you can create a value or a need. Like, let's go for example with the iPad. You have the iPad. I mean, there was no need for an iPad. Who wanted to have an iPad? But then Apple, they created the need for an iPad. And now there's a need. And there's a value for the product. But then it has to be a really good product. Of course, also you have to think about, would it be a product sought after? I mean, like, will the people go for it? And don't think only about your own point of view. Yeah, you maybe ask friends, ask other people who don't work in your industry, who are completely outside what you're doing. Ask them, is it interesting for you? Would it be a good product? And does the product leave a lasting effect? Do you think that people would return there? Now, when we talk about sustainability, and we also have to think about that it's not just that people go there one time and then they never want to come back. Is it sustainable? Of course, that's the question you have to ask. In my presentation, I will not talk so much about sustainability and what exactly ecotourism means, because I think that you all know this, maybe better than me as well, because you're working in that field. And then, very important, what is your source market? Who you target for? Like you were saying, you're targeting Chinese. So if you target Chinese, it's a complete different story than if you target, let's say, French. It's a complete different thing. Just yesterday, I was running around from my hotel in Jeju, and then I was coming to this little river, And it was quite nice. It was nothing really special. It was quite nice. And I was hearing this radio. You know, I run through this park and all these trees, and then this radio comes out. And then talking in Korean, giving me information about this river. I found it annoying. And then I go on, and then the radio starts there, and the whole way I'm running, the radio was going on and talking to me about this river. What's special about this river? Okay, but for Korean, or maybe also they have a lot of Chinese visitors, you know, they have direct flights from Shanghai, from Beijing, they will like it. They just walk leisurely, they want to have some information, you know, they don't want to have the wild nature like many Europeans want. So they have the nature tank. So you have to know your source market when you have your product. What do the people like? Also Chinese, for example, they might not stay so long. You have to also see the holiday patterns of them. How long can they stay? They don't have so much holiday. Maybe they have 2 weeks per year. Same like US citizens. So it's very different from Europeans who have sometimes 6 weeks holidays per year. So you have to know all these things. And then, very important, when we did the workshop in June, we did the workshop in Laos with participants from Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Thailand, right? We were doing some exercises, and they were all very enthusiastic about their ideas, but sometimes in very remote areas. And you know, sometimes we get carried away by our product, or we really like it, but you have to really think about the basics first. You have to think like, is it accessible? I mean, can you go there easily? Or if it's very difficult to get there, if it takes a long time, like for example getting to Jeju, takes a long time from Europe. There has to be something really special here. Okay, they make this congress, so it's really special, so everyone comes here. But you know, it has to have something very unique if it's really remote. Otherwise, it might be easier if it's close by some already well-established tourist trails. Sometimes it will also help you if there are already a lot of other ecotourism products around you. Of course you think, okay, oh, then I have a lot of competition, that will be difficult for me. But it could already attract a lot of other people who came already, and who will be around that area, and then you just add another ecotourism product, and it will be easier for you because the clients are already there, there's already a market. So you really have to think about that it's not too remote. People don't like to travel too long. They don't like to sit the whole day in the bus or take a flight only to get to your place. Like when I talk, for example, think about Angkor. You know Angkor Wat, everybody knows the Khmer ruins. Okay, everyone, they fly there, even from Europe, just to see that. Or the pyramids, okay, because it's really unique, it's really something special. But most of our products are not like that. So think about that. Yeah. I'm sorry if you afterwards have to say, okay, my product doesn't work because it's just too far away from everywhere, and there's no well-established tourist trails around. But you have to really think about it before you start to work on it. And then also, of course, the price. The price is very important. It doesn't mean that it has to be cheap. It doesn't have to be cheap. It can be expensive. But it has to create the value, like I said at the beginning. The value and the price have to match. We will talk about the pricing and so on. We will talk later as well, so we'll not go into too many details. Also, of course, the facilities have to be okay. That's where you have to think about, again, when you think about who you want to target for. When you think about who you target for, you have to think also about the facilities. If you target for backpackers, okay, the facilities can be very simple. You can make a dormitory, shared bathroom, and so on, fine, it's okay. But if you want to target like for, let's say, the silver hair generation, yeah, that's how we call it in Laos, because we have most of our clients as the silver hairs, so like they are people from their 50s up. They have the money, they have the time to travel, and they like to stay comfortable. even in very poor countries, they like to stay comfortable. They want to have at least a real 3-star hotel, or maybe a 4-star, sometimes a 5-star hotel where they stay. They have to stay comfortable. So you have to think about, again, about your target group. What is your target group? And then you have to think about, can I provide the facilities for this target group? Okay, unique selling proposition. I think that's very, very, very clear. I mean, I will give two examples after the next slide, and then also some examples on Laos, just to focus on this a little bit more, because this is really important. What do you have but the others don't have? Like I mentioned before, you don't have to invent the wheel. You don't have to have something super unique which just exists once. But it has to have an outstanding value. It has to be something which the others do not have. And is your product strong enough to attract enough clients? And then, very, very important, do not make the mistake to look at your product only from your point of view. So, ask your friends, ask other people who are not doing what you're doing, who have maybe a really different point of view. What do you think? Is that a good product? Will it work? Will people like it? Would you go there? Would you stay there? Would you spend the money for that? Of course, you're very excited about your product, but maybe others are not. Okay, to give you 2 examples. This is like also the marketing campaigns. The one on the left first, Bhutan. Bhutan is a very small country between China and India. And, I mean, sure, it's a nice place, but why should I go there? So and it's a very expensive place, by the way, so I have to get there. So in the 70s, you know, the gross domestic product. We all count every day. You can see that the news, gross domestic product, increase, decrease, and so on and so on. And then Bhutan, they invented something else. They said that they were talking about they were measuring the happiness. I'm not sure exactly how they measure it, but they're talking about it's very important for them to measure the happiness of the people. And the happiness of the people is not just about the GDP. Okay? So they did start already in the 70s. And now they use this because this is a famous model, unique in the world, and more other countries are a little bit copying it. So they're using this as a unique selling proposition. And now they make the marketing campaign, Bhutan, happiness is a place. Great. Unique. So another one on the right, because we're in Korea, I was thinking a little bit what is unique about Korea. And they just recently they created this website for Americans, Chinese, and Japanese-speaking countries. It's called Buzz Korea, and it's highlighting different aspects of Korea, especially the food and the K-pop. You know, the K-pop. They have a lot of these Korean singers, and it's a big industry in Korea, and it's very, very popular in other countries in Southeast Asia. You can also see like they're copying the clothes, they're copying the hairstyle, everything from this K-pop, and also all these series from Korea. So they're using this because this is quite unique here in Korea. They're using this as a unique selling proposition. The food, I mean, you also the kimchi for breakfast, and the popular culture. Okay, and then when I come to Laos, this is Laos. These are some pictures from Laos. What do you think could be, if you just see the pictures, what could be the unique selling proposition? Culture and heritage, exactly. And nature as well. So that's clearly the unique selling proposition. Okay, in the neighboring countries, they also have Buddhism. They also have the same kind of nature. But, okay, you can say Laos is a little bit more remote, it's more underdeveloped, so it's more unique. And just to give you quickly some 3 examples, we are selling quite well as a DMC from Asian trades. Very simple examples to show you which things works. I mean, they are all based in Luang Prabang. Luang Prabang is the old royal capital of Laos, and many tourists are there already. So it's very easy to create a product there and to create an additional product. So you don't have to bring people from far away there, they will be there already. So this one is, for example, one is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and you make a nice leisurely bike ride. This is a very simple product. Very simple.